I do love visiting old ruins, possibly because I am old and ruined. Anyway, today we have come to, ta-da, Titchfield Abbey, unsurprisingly, in Titchfield. Rather interesting set of ruins. Shockingly accessible. The car park is literally there. There's a garden centre behind me. So that could be quite a nice day out if you're into garden centres. I'm not particularly into that sort of thing, but I am into ruins and walking around them and exploring. I know it's not much exploring, it's pretty much just the shell of a building. And I'm into drone flying, so that should be interesting. I'm going to try to fly it around inside the building and see how that goes. Possibly terribly. Unlike a lot of places like this, you can actually go inside. Completely wide open. Quite literally, there's no roof. I should probably read about these places before I come to them so I can give some kind of narration, but yeah, I figure if you're interested, you'll have a Google. I just like looking at them, wondering what they used to be. Obviously, this used to be an abbey. Thinking about the people that used to live here and visit here and presumably work here, worship here. And a dead end. Oh well, go the other way. So according to this very well placed plaque, the abbey was built in 1231 by the Bishop of Winchester. So apparently the canons who lived here, I guess that means monk of some kind, wore white habits and were known as white canons. They would have attended 8 services a day and a mass in the church. But at one point this was a private residence. That would be a pretty lovely house. A house with a lovely view, because it's a really quite lovely scenery around here, other than the garden centre, ignore that. Other than that, there's some really quite lovely scenery. And this looks like where they've found the old walls that are no longer here. Very substantial building. So wondering if that was the private residence as opposed to the abbey. It doesn't look particularly much like an abbey. That was the way to the old chapter house, and that looks quite a bit older than that. Or at least the middle bit anyway. That side looks older. So I'm wondering if the abbey was at least partly in ruins when that was built. I really should start actually researching these places so I can give more useful and insightful narration. Or I could just not bother, and like I said, you guys can use Google. If anybody's watching these videos, I'm sure you know how to use Google. If you don't know how to use Google, then Google it. You'll find out. Right, let's take a wander inside. As I said, it's very strange that you can do that to these sort of things. Most of these that I've been to in the past are all closed off, but yeah, this is completely wide open. Now, why do research when I can come here and someone's done it for me? There is the answer. So apparently it was pretty much rebuilt into its current, well, not its current form, into its standing form. Stairs there that go up the tower. You can't get to them. There's a big old gate in the way. As you fancy a climb. Not happening. Nothing says modern health and safety standards like a sign telling you that the stairs are worn and uneven next to a set of stairs that are clearly worn and uneven. It's like having may contain nuts on a bag of peanuts, which apparently happened. The plan today was to leave very early and get here much earlier when it was much quieter, so I could fly the drone around without disturbing many other people. There's not a great amount of people here at the moment, to be fair. I'm just aware they can be quite noisy. Just don't like interrupting other people's days. But yes, I was cocking about this morning. My OCD was in overdrive, so it took me about an hour to leave the house. That was annoying as heck. Anyway, no. I'm going to be doing a video editing course online at some point as well. But one I'm looking at is online and in person. It's not cheap, but you learn to use DaVinci Resolve, which is a very good editing suite that a lot of people use. It's used professionally. It's used in a lot of films and TV work, but the software itself is actually free to use unless you want access to more advanced features, which is a one-off payment of £200 and something, which, considering the cost of a lot of editing software, is pretty reasonable. Yeah, if I really get into this, if I need the more advanced tools, I'll probably get that. At the moment, I barely know what I'm doing with editing, so there's not much point. But I very much enjoy the editing. I enjoy the filming, I enjoy the editing, so I think I'm going to spend the money on doing the course, learning how to do it properly. So I've pretty much seen all there is to see at the Abbey. There isn't a great deal to it. There's no tour guide or visitor centre. It is pretty much exactly what we see. It is lovely. It is now lunchtime, conveniently. I'm getting a wee bit peckish. So that's the Abbey, another angle of the Abbey there. It really is quite pleasant. Very peaceful. I should have bought a picnic, thinking about it. Should have grabbed a sandwich on the way. I didn't think to do that. I stopped to charge the car up and I had a bite to eat, but I didn't think to actually grab anything to eat here. You're probably gathering that I don't plan things very well. I kind of just pick a direction and head off. definitely going to have to start planning things and researching the places I'm going. So there is certain fun in chaos. I am going to come back here another day though, very early, because I want to fly the drone around in the Abbey. There's plenty of room in there for it. I'm going to try to fly it down the towers as well, which could be an expensive mistake. Yeah, stick around for that one. What's the worst that can happen?